Welcome, English learners, and today we got four new chunks to learn. And these chunks are basically related to the past simple. I hope these chunks will help you understand the two basic forms of the past simple. So sometimes we would use for the verb go, sometimes we use went, I went to the park yesterday, and sometimes we would use go to the park after did. So I didn't, oh, she didn't go to the park yesterday. Okay, so let's jump right in. Today's grammar chunks are number one, did your husband? This takes a type 1 after it. Did your husband go to the park? What time did your son? Also plus type 1. So what time did your son get up? I last week takes a type 2. I went to the park last week. Lucy last night takes a type 2, so it would be Lucy got up last night. Today's action chunks are, so I will read through the first one using type 1, type 2. Okay, so the first one is get up, and that is the type 1. Type 2 is got up. Type 3, got up. I think in America you can also say gotten up. And type 4, getting up. Have a car, had a car, had a car, having a car. Go on holiday, went on holiday, been on holiday, gone on holiday, going on holiday. Eat breakfast, ate breakfast, or I think Americans would say ate breakfast. Eaten breakfast, eating breakfast. The first grammar chunk today is did your husband? And which one does it go with? Which type? Is it type 1, have a car? Type 2, had a car? Type 3, had a car? Type 4, having a car. And the answer is, did your husband have a car? So it goes with the type 1. After did, didn't, always use a type 1 action. Right, next chunk, what time did your son? Which action do you take? Do you take eat breakfast, ate breakfast, eaten breakfast, or eating breakfast? What time did your son eat breakfast? Again, to stress the point, after did or didn't, always use a type 1 action. I go on holiday, went on holiday, been on holiday, going on a holiday last week. So here the clue is in the time expression, so last week. What is the answer? I went on holiday last week. So the past time tells us it's a type 2. Other times, like last week, would be yesterday morning, 2 minutes ago, last month, last week, last year, 3 months ago. Next chunk, Lucy, last night. And again, look at the time expression. Which one do you need to use? Get up, got up, getting up. Lucy got up last night. Again, it's the past time that tells us we need to use a type 2 here. I said it before, but I will say it again. This next stage is very important, testing. Always test yourself. If you learn something new in English, if you got a chance to test yourself, do it, because it means that you will keep that knowledge for much longer. So let's get started with testing. Chunk away. Alright, so it's the testing stage, and this is very important. Your first test, you got 4 questions. First question is, did your husband plus get up? which version do you need to use? The second question, what time did your son plus have a car? Number 3, I plus eat breakfast last week. And number 4, Lucy go on holiday last week. So use the correct form of the action verb. The answers: did your husband get up? It's a type 1, and it's a type 1 because of did. What time did your son have a car? Again, it's a type 1 because you notice that there's did in the question. I ate breakfast last week. So last week tells us it's in the past. So we can use a type 2. And the last one, Lucy went on holiday last night. So last night tells us it's in the past, so use a type 2. Next set of questions. You know what to do. Pause the video, give yourself some time. Choose the right form of the action chunk. Here are the answers. Did your husband eat breakfast? Type 1. Lucy had a car last night. Type 2. I got up last week. Type 2. What time did your son go on holiday? Type 1. These chunks are slightly different, but I want you to use your knowledge, what you learned so far, to choose the right form of the action chunk. So number 1, did she ever plus have a car? Number 2, did Tom only plus eat breakfast? Number 3, did we plus get up too late? And number 4, did I plus the action chunk go on holiday 2 years ago? Which form do you use? Pause the video. And the answers, they're all type 1. Did she ever have a car? Did Tom only eat breakfast? Did we get up too late? Did I go on holiday 2 years ago? Again, just to remind you, after did, didn't, always use a type 1 action. Also, it doesn't matter who did the action, there is no change in the verb. For example, did she ever have a car? I could say, did he ever have a car? Did I ever have a car? Did we ever have a car? Did you ever have a car? It doesn't matter who, you will always use a type 1. 4 more questions. Use your knowledge and choose the right form of the action chunk. Okay, the answers, they're all type 1 because they all come after did or didn't. Here are the answers. What time did she get up yesterday morning? I didn't have a car last year. Who did Tom eat breakfast with? They didn't go on holiday last December. Okay, use your knowledge. The chunks are slightly different in these questions. And I give you a hint. Look at the times. Here are the answers. They're all type 2. I ate breakfast 2 hours ago. She had a car 2 months ago. He went on holiday in 2019. They got up yesterday afternoon. So with all the time expressions, they're all in the past. So go ahead and choose the right action chunk. Pause the video as well. And the answers. How did she go on holiday? I ate breakfast 1 hour ago. Tom and Lucy had a car when they were in Spain. And this is a type 2 because it's not quite as obvious past time as 1 hour ago or yesterday evening, but when they were in Spain. So the word tells us it's in the past. She didn't get up until 11 o'clock, type 1. Get up after didn't. She also didn't eat breakfast, type 1. They still went on holiday last month, type 2, even though they didn't have the money. So the second part of this sentence even though they didn't have the money, didn't tells us it's in the past. They got up yesterday evening. So yesterday evening tells us it's the past. Did you have a car when you were 18? Okay, when you were 18 tells us it's the past. But have a car follows did, so you need to use a type 1 here. Okay, and just to highlight other clues that this is the past. So if we go to number 3, when they were in Spain. So were tells us it's the past. Look at number 6. They still went on holiday last month. Last month tells us the past. Even though they didn't have. So didn't have also tells us it's the past. Number 7. We know it's the past because it's yesterday evening. And number 8. You were 18. So were tells us that it's the past. Back to the studio. Those are the chunks for today, and I hope they help you understand how the past simple works more in English. I hope so. In the following video, or perhaps the one after that, or in a video that will be released soon, we'll have a look at some more chunks related to the past in English. I bet you're looking forward to that. Okay, anyway, enjoy. If the weather's good with you or if it's bad with you, it doesn't matter what the weather is. Make sure you enjoy yourself.